Okay, so we start off with introductions. So my name's Alan, so the previous chairman was Alan. My name's Alan as well, but I'm Alan Finch. So I'll pass it down the line to my colleagues to let you know who they are. Mike Riley, Company Secretary.
Gareth Jones, Editor by SMT.
I'm Colin Slide, I'm retiring treasurer.
I'm Ian Harper, I am the new treasurer.
And Tom Rowlands, Membership Secretary.
Carol Regan, Trader Coordinator and General Counsel.
Top girl indeed. Right, okay. So, agenda, apologies. Do we have any apologies for absence?
Two apologies notified, Chairman, Michael Perrins and Paul Bainbridge.
Thank you very much. Minutes of the last AGM, so they were sent out in the bulletin in February. Does anyone have any comments on them? Can anyone remember what was in them? Is there anything you want to add? Can we take them as read?
I can assure you they were brilliant, Chairman.
Marvellous. Okay, take them as read. Director's report. Again, that was sent out in December. Any comments from anyone? No show of hands, no comments. We'll assume they are all fine. Excellent. Okay, moving on to the accounts. Been an interesting year from a financial point of view. We're still in turbulent times. So you can look there and see, so the income slightly up, but the expenses were up as well. I'll come on to the reason why in a second. Any comments from any of that? I'm not going to take it through line by line. Any comments? Anyone want to ask anything? No? Okay, so I'll move on to some explanations. So this is just a summary of those figures. So the cost of sales increased 14,000 over 2021, and administration expenses increased by just over 3,000. Mostly due to shortfall in the income. So last year we didn't have as many people as we hoped, due to footfall. And magazine printing costs, so we all know the cost of living has gone up, and magazine printing costs increased quite significantly, along with postage. That's gone up as well. And the web expenses. So, quick straw, who's using our members only site? Show of hands. Okay. Any comments? Like it? Useful? Good? Excellent, thank you. So yes, the web usage has gone up, so the expenses have gone up on that. Any comments on there? No, moving on. Again, this is the assets and balance sheet. Reserves at the end, slight increase, but we're still roughly where we've sort of kept them for the last number of years. And assets are pretty much the same as well. So we're in a nice, healthy position, and we're trying to maintain that level. Okay. Any questions? No. Balance sheet. So stock consists of the guides that we send out. We've got trader debtors, other debtors, and cash in bank is reduced by 12.5 because the show always has to cover itself, and so that's what we had to cover the loss from there. Okay, on to election of directors. So as you heard, oh sorry. Okay, we need to accept the account. So I need a proposer and a seconder. Hand up there.
Andy Belcher, 9611.
Thank you, Andy and Mark. Number. Lovely. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, on to the directors. So as Colin said, he is stepping down as the treasurer, and Ian Harper.
Did you ask for any? In favour of consent?
For the
account? For the account?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, I did. You were in the town.
Thank
And in Mark.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
In favour?
In favour of Mark.
No. All opposed? They're the proposal seconded.
Oh, sorry.
All in favour?
Oh, are you all in favour? Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
You second?
No. Sorry, my first time doing this, so I'm learning as I go along.
Any against?
Any against? No, there were no against. Right, can I move on? Okay, right, election of directors. So Colin's stepping down, so Ian is put himself forward to stand. So we need a proposer and a seconder for the for Ian to stand as our treasurer. Mike, Doctor. And we need a seconder. Someone seconded. Rod Nipper seconded. Okay. All in favour? Yeah. Any against? No. Thank you and welcome to the board. Mick Glofield to be re-elected as director. So currently he is our show director as of very soon he'll be taking over doing the SMT. So he's up for re-election. So again, a proposer and a seconder, please. And Mike Docker seconded. Is Nick in the room? He was.
Yeah, I'm down here.
He's down there. He's right. Okay. All in favour? Lovely, thank you. And any against? No. Thank you, Mick, for your continued support. Okay. Officer positions. I put this out in the February SMT. We need to fill 2 positions. Now, it'd be nice if 2 people stepped up today and said, yes, I can do this, but I'm not expecting that, but it'd be very nice. Trade Liaison Officer. This is the job that Carol currently does superbly, but this is Carol's last year. And this is a prime time for someone to step up and say, yes, I can do that. You would then be shadowing Carol for the next 12 months. So you would learn exactly how it goes, what work is involved. You'd be working alongside her so that when you take over next year, you'll know exactly what you're doing because you've had a year's training on the job. So it's the ideal opportunity. But we need someone to take this role on. Without it, the show can't run. It's as simple as that. It's not a full-time. There are certain times of the year where there's not that much to do, and there's other times where it gets a little busier, but this requires to be organised. Carol, do you want to say anything on this or not? Yes, Carol's
Do you want a microphone, Carol?
The job just entails contacting traders, making their requirements known to the floor planner, and you've got to be really tenacious, chasing people a lot. It's an enjoyable job. And you learn a lot about people, and you also make lots of friends. So if anybody is interested, then please let us know, and we're willing to take you through all the process from beginning to end. Okay?
Thank you, Carol. Any show of a hand here today? Didn't? Okay. So yeah, seriously, when you go back to your clubs, if you speak to people, your friends that are in the association, I should be putting something out in the May edition, but we need this to be covered. We're all volunteers here, and we cannot work if we don't have enough people to fill the posts, okay? Second thing, bulletin editor. Mick has kindly agreed to do the bulletin for the next edition, which is coming up. After that, we don't have anyone. So if you want to see a bulletin, we need someone to step forward and do it. We have all the hardware, the software, and we have people on hand that can show you how to do it. But without someone to physically do it, it won't happen. Who values bulletin at the moment? Slow, but I don't put my hand down in case someone says you can do it. If you want to see it, then someone's going to have to step forward and do it, because otherwise it just won't happen. Okay? So, again, sorry, you're the people I'm looking at, but it's out to all the membership. But we need someone to cover that, otherwise it won't happen. It's as simple as that. Okay? So, thank you for that. Awards and recognition. So,
Just a couple of points. Appeals panel. We do have an appeals panel. Couple of corrections to the list. It should be Ray Castle, not Roy Castle. Yeah, didn't he blow a trumpet or something? And John Orson has sadly died. So other than that, the names, unless anybody tells me now that they're not prepared to carry on, the appeals panel will still be there, though we have yet to call them into business. So I'm assuming everybody's happy that we reappoint them. Yeah, no dissent. Yeah, please.
Have a microphone.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
No. Yeah.
How many people are members of local groups here? Right, with all due respect to Alan, he's appealing to the wrong people. Many of you have already served the association and served it well. No, I don't mean that way, Mike. Well, you can... Alright. Many of you have served the association well. But you know people who are in local groups, dare I say, somewhat younger than the demographic of most of the soldiers. They're the people that we need to energise and encourage to step up to be bulletin editor, to shadow Carol for the 6 months of the year that she spends on trade liaison and other stuff to do with the show. So I don't believe that you can press gang people into doing this. I think, you know, volunteer is better than a press man, or if I was politically correct, a press woman. So those of you in local groups, you know, talk to the younger people there, see whether any of those is interested in doing it. I'm not surprised there's no show of hands from here, because it's the people who haven't come to the AGM that we actually need to appeal to. And I value bulletin, and I think most of you do, and I think most of the people in local groups do. And they certainly like the bit at the back where they can buy things at lower cost than they have to pay if they went and bought them new.
Thank you, Alan. Yes, as I said, there's perhaps Alan's knowledge and experience counts for that, because he knows a lot of you. He's been here a long time and knows where you all come from, which I don't, I'm afraid, but which I didn't think I was going to get a show of hands today for staying up for the job. But yes, if you can just echo that, if you can have a chat with your area groups, or if you have a magazine, if you can put something in your area group magazine that you can share with people. Yes, ma'am.
I hope everyone can hear me. Just a thought, this literally just come to me now. A lot of the younger elements are involved in modular, which isn't it's an online club as much as anything. But might that be, I can think of 2 or 3 who would fit the demographic very, very well. Whether they've got time because of work or what, I've got no idea, but it's just a thought.
Yeah, no, thanks. That's a very good idea. Thank you. I'll chat afterwards. Okay. Mike has reminded me that we need to agree on the appointment of our auditors. We changed them this year, didn't we? We changed them. What did we do?
Yeah, so that we've just...
So our auditors now are Crouchers, Chartered Accountants. Are we all in favour that they're happy to...
Yeah, first.
Okay. Does anyone want to propose that they're happy to them to be our auditors? Yeah, Mike Docker. Seconded?
Sorry, no.
Holland Beach,
Thank you.
6755.
All in favour? Show of hands, yes, thank you. Any against? No, lovely, thank you. So just a quick, there's quite a lot of changes happening this year, so I just want to recognise this. So Colin, as we always said, is stepping down as our accountant, and Ian Harper is taking over. Mr. Mike Riley, who sat next to me, this is his last year in position, and Andrew Mountfield, who's doing our Tanathan Special Edition, will be taking over as secretary from next year. Gareth Jones sat to the left there, who has been, how long have you been doing SMT for? 8 years. We've followed a long line of excellent editors, is stepping down, and as I've already outlined, Mick will be taking over that from the November issue. Alan Regan is stepping up sideways or whatever, but he's taking over the show director position next year, so it's final year, and we'll be taking over that. And stepping down there, Rick Turnock, who currently organises the Motti, will be taking over from the year after, so he will be shadowing Alan over the next year, learning from one of the best people you could learn from how to run the show. And Carol, as we've already said, is stepping down, so we need a new person to cover her position. So, in recognition, can we all give a round of applause for the wonderful work that they've done? Also, although he's not here, of course we mentioned that Dave Gordon, who used to run the bulletin, which is why we need someone who steps down in February, so that's why we need a person there, but thank you for that. Okay, over to you. Any questions? Gentleman there to start with.
How's our membership numbers to what they were?
Sorry, say again?
How are our membership numbers as to what they were?
How are our membership numbers?
We're probably a little bit under where we were before the end of this year. There's still some new renewals coming in. They're hovering around probably about 3,600 at the moment. I would expect that to continue going up, obviously, as the membership year progresses. Yeah, there's usually a bit of fluctuation on this time of year.
Okay, and there's a question.
Thanks, Mike Docker, 3552. I was just wondering whether the reduced finances have any implications for subscriptions, increases, or anything like that. Are we comfortable enough to stay as we are and things to tick over, or do we need to look at that again?
It's something which we look at all the time, and so when the show finishes and we've got all the figures in, we'll look at that and see how we're going. So the idea obviously is to just keep everything on an equilibrium, and to make any changes as need be. So next year's Stoneleigh, which will be a change of things, so we'll just keep on monitoring. So but we've tried to keep everything in line so that we don't have any big jumps in costs, so we hope to keep the costs stable as we can. So,
but of course any subscription changes wouldn't take effect until 24 anyway, would they?
No, correct, that's right, yes. Yes, so yeah, it's all fine. And just one thing, I'm sure you've all noticed, but this is our last year at this event. because of all the development work that's going on, so we will be at Stoneleigh next year. And Alan has written a piece which will go into the May edition as to how we came to that conclusion. So there's some load of background data for you to look at. Any other questions? No, we have none.
Yep.
Okay, I can now formally say thank you very much for your time and your attendance, and formally close the meeting. So thank you very much.
Hang on, don't disappear just a minute, gentlemen.
There's a big blue thing which is covered up. Yeah, you can have the pillowcase back. Okay, this is the famous Lamb Trophy, and apparently it's down to, this is my prerogative, as to who I pass it on to in recognition of their work. Already announced that someone is stepping down this year, after doing 8 years of producing SMT and taking it to a level that is the envy of quite a lot of other publications. It's a fantastic publication, it's a brilliant standard, and I know that everyone looks forward to it, to receiving it, the quality of it, and the layout, etc., and everything that goes inside it. So this, in recognition for your work, Gareth, my pleasure to pass to you. Congratulations.
Yeah, just like to say, SMT has been the most incredible thing that I've been involved with, and it's really sad in a way to step away from it, but I feel it's the right time to do so. And I can't tell you the thrill I get every quarter when it comes through the letterbox. I think, well, you know, I had a hand in producing that, but more importantly is all of the contributions that come from members, because without that there'd be no SMT at all. So all SMT editor does is compile it and put it together, but without the contributions we wouldn't have that fantastic magazine. So thank you everyone who has submitted something during my time as editor. It's much appreciated, and please continue to do so to make Mick's life as easy as possible. I'm sure Mick will take it in a different direction, as every SMT editor has done. I always considered that I was standing on the shoulders of the giants before me anyway, and I'm sure Mick will add his own flavour to it. So thank you very much. Much appreciated.